This photo showcases the ridiculous inflatable diving suit created in the early 20th century. Designed to facilitate buoyancy and protect divers at great depths, its clumsy design and lack of efficiency turned it into a laughingstock, remembered more for its comical appearance than any functional breakthrough. This peculiar photo shows participants in a beautiful legs contest, wearing pillowcases over their heads so judges could evaluate only their legs. Held at Palisades Amusement Park, New Jersey in 1951, the event is a curious example of the era's oddities. This photo shows Soviet cryptographer Igor Guzenko in 1945, hiding his face during an interview after defecting from the Soviet embassy in Ottawa. He fled to the West with over 100 confidential documents exposing a Soviet espionage network in Canada. His revelation led to the arrest of 29 spies and earned him a significant reward, including a mansion and political asylum, marking one of the first major events of the Cold War. Hungarian engineer Stefan Nailed is seen next to his curious invention, a machine he claimed could make people and objects invisible. Captured in 1935, this photo exemplifies the era's fascination with extravagant ideas and bold scientific promises, even without proof. Despite the lack of results, his creation intrigued and sparked speculation for years. The Michael and Our Band brought a unique experience to radio audiences, with musicians grotesquely dressed in costumes resembling the brand's famous mascot. Created in 1928 by a tire manufacturer, the program blended music and advertising in a captivating way. This unusual combination charmed listeners, becoming a milestone in the era's radio entertainment. This peculiar diving suit, created by Frenchman Pierre-Rémy Debove in 1715, was both an innovation and a technological oddity of its time. With hoses supplying and evacuating exhaled air, the suit enabled significant underwater advancements despite its eerie appearance, which, with an axe in hand, might even make for a perfect Halloween costume. An airplane flies through the Arc de Triomphe in a daring feat piloted by Charles Godefroy. Performed in 1919 in Paris, the flight navigated the tight dimensions of the monument, serving as a tribute to the aviators of World War I, highlighting their courage and skill. In this photo, an armoured car patrols the streets of Vienna in 1934, as Austria's paramilitary Heimwehr force prepares for immediate action. With the city on high alert, these armoured vehicles became symbols of vigilance and control, ready to respond to any signs of unrest in Vienna's tense streets. This photo shows patients waiting in line while others perform exercises on these structures under the supervision of an instructor at the hospital. Captured on February 14, 1956, at the Sint Willibrordus Psychiatric Hospital in the Netherlands, the scene reveals a common therapeutic approach of the time, where physical activity was seen as one of the few tools to improve the mental and physical well-being of psychotic patients in an effort to humanize their treatment. These images showcase the curious human kites used by soldiers to lift people and supplies to difficult-to-reach areas. Captured during World War I, these devices served as innovative alternatives for observation and transport in combat zones. Commander Richard Byrd, a renowned U.S. polar explorer, is seen in this image wearing a leather helmet and mask designed for his historic flight over the North Pole in 1926. He traveled 1,360 miles from Spitsbergen to the North Pole and back in a Fokker airplane, completing the journey in just over 15 hours. This pioneering feat cemented Byrd's legacy in aviation and polar exploration. Under a viaduct, residents of Boren, Belgium, eagerly await the appearance of the Virgin Mary in 1933. Children from a Christian school claim to have seen her the day before, quickly spreading the news throughout the city. The event drew crowds who gathered with candles and prayers, transforming the site into a hub of faith and anticipation. Robert Kennedy, along with West Berlin Mayor Willy Brandt, is seen observing the Berlin Wall on February 22, 1962. The wall stood as a symbol of the Cold War, marking the divide between capitalism and socialism. While the western side thrived, citizens on the eastern side suffered under a regime that isolated and controlled its population. The control was so extensive that an East German policeman, a member of the WOPO, stood ready with binoculars, guarding one of the bridges connecting East and West Berlin in 1961. These guards played a crucial role in preventing escapes to the west during a time of growing tension and division in Berlin. This photograph captures a desperate refugee running to escape from East Germany to West Berlin on October 16, 1961. This scene showed the world the despair of many who risked everything to seek freedom in the West, defying the physical and ideological barriers imposed by the socialist regime. In this photo, a soldier demonstrates the operation of a human kite, being lifted into the sky by one of the devices designed by Samuel Franklin Cody. This impressive contraption, combining simplicity and functionality, allowed the military to take advantage of aerial space in a cost-effective yet risky manner. Marsha Pinfield, just 6 months old, is crowned America's most beautiful baby in an unusual competition held in 1927. The contest reflects the era's fascination with beauty pageants, even for infants, with Marsha becoming a small icon of her generation. This photo captures Princeton University students in 1893 after what seemed to be an innocent snowball fight. Their bruised faces suggest it was more of a fist fight than a playful battle, revealing the intensity with which they enjoyed themselves. The image offers a glimpse into a bygone youth culture, where even simple games took on a tone of toughness and rivalry. With its rounded design and windows resembling oversized goggles, the P-7 Nelt and Kunk diving suit looks like an attempt to create a minion from the movies. Tested in France in 1926, it was a technological innovation that allowed exploration of previously unreachable depths. In this curious and somewhat comical photograph, children in a schoolyard in 1922 practiced simulated swimming on the ground, without a drop of water in sight. Under the watchful gaze of a stern teacher, the scene reflects the inventive solutions of the time, blending creativity with an unintentionally humorous touch. This image shows 3 cars from the late 1920s parked dangerously close to the edge of the Palouse River Canyon in Washington state. Meanwhile, about 10 people enjoy a picnic as if they were in a safe park, not steps away from a deadly drop. This photo captures a US Army R-5 helicopter lifting approximately 17 people, some precariously hanging from the sides in a demonstration of strength in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And they say they never understood why men die younger. Perhaps this photo offers a clue. At Neuhammer military camp, German soldiers stage a comedic escape aboard an imaginary Zeppelin. The setup shows them hanging from the windows of a mock fuselage, while the caption, "Escape from Neuhammer's sand desert," reinforces the humorous tone. The creative scene illustrates how even amid the rigidity of military life, soldiers found ways to use their imagination for fun. At Dornet military camp, the playfulness continues with soldiers traveling to Hanover in a fictional rocket. Captured in the 1930s by Max Schweitzer, the image reflects the same relaxed spirit with exaggerated and creative poses. In this 1940s photograph, American soldiers pose mounted on a wooden donkey, their feet resting on a box inscribed with "To Hell with Hitler." The scene combines light-heartedness with defiance, capturing the humorous and rebellious spirit of American troops during World War II.